What is up, all you viewers? Hope you're all doing well. You know, me and PD Boy back with another React out there. We got one simple question for you. This one is an interesting topic because there is so much freaking money in esports, but a lot of money also tends to get wasted in a space like this as you try and figure out what you can and maybe what you should not be doing. We're talking about the Cloud9 Colossus, the potential money wasted out there. Thanks to Ryan over at Rushby Media, we got a breakdown of the transfer fees alongside salaries paid for the Cloud9 CSGO roster, which lasted at time of completion with S-Tag finally joining around 5 months total. That eventually leading to what's been calculated around $1.8 million, which a lot of people are calling washed. Not much success there, of course, as they leave CSGO. They are set to come back when it's more viable outside of a pandemic. Let me break it down before I get your response on this, Pete. As Ryan did state, someone like Alex had a $250,000 transfer fee and was paid $39 grand a month. Mezzi was $83,000 to acquire $11.8K a month. Woxic, nearly $300,000 to acquire him. He was one of their first releases besides the coach in the roster. $30K monthly. Floppy was free. My boy is probably going to Valorant, but $12K monthly. And then S-Tag, $500,000 to acquire the boy from Astralis. Just cash that check. And $44,000 monthly. Total transfer fees just over $1.1 million, and the monthly salary across all 5 of those players being just shy of $137,000, again lasting 5 months. You calculate it out, PD Boy, about 1.8 million buckaroos just down the drain.
And that's not, what they're even still on the hook for.
Yes.
This is ongoing. By the time this video comes out, it might be closer to $2 million. It depends on when they get paid this month. But man, this was an amazing investment if you were Astralis. If you're Astralis, Cloud9 Colossus is like the best investment you've ever made.
If you're Astralis, you're like, we need to keep on signing 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people, and then just
let's sign like 20 dudes and like put them all on like $500,000 transfer fees and just wait till C9 scoops them up.
Yeah, and this was obviously one of their best investments when it came time for the 6-man roster, which Astralis has been trying to do 6, 7-man roster. It's been under a bunch of flack for different reasons out there we won't go into, but yeah, it's pretty incredible. These contracts with Cloud9, industry standard, were 3 years. Ironically so, last time we talked about Cloud9, they don't usually fulfill the full 3 years, right? Things do happen. Unfortunately, there's been contracts in the Fortnite space cut short abruptly as well. When it comes time for these 3-year contracts, though, a lot of these players will not be bought out by other orgs because the project itself was not a success. I think that's fair to say.
Oh, absolutely. And I think based on what Cloud9 is paying them, a lot of orgs will look at their, how this group played together. And I think with S-Tag's first match, they got just destroyed. They haven't performed very well at all. And so to me, not only did you overpay for some of these players and pay these huge transfer fees, now you are very unlikely to offload them because no one's going to wait and pay those transfer fees based on the performance because the entire project was kind of doomed from the start.
Yeah, and I think especially during a pandemic and a lack of lands, it certainly did hurt the project. But there are going to be a lot of people out there thinking it was going to fail no matter what. I'm not necessarily on that side, but the huge lack of success means a lot of these players will still be under Cloud9 contract. Who knows how long those contracts will continue to be paid out, what players might be bought out, what players might just swap to Valorant maybe for Cloud9. I think overall, though, when you look at the money aspect of it, it's hard not to see this as a waste of money. But besides that, I think it's a big hurt for North American CSGO. I think for me personally, this might be a weird opinion, one of the biggest things to come out of this was the fact they at least had the balls to tell people, hey, here's how much money it takes to try something like this.
It was definitely an interesting approach, and I think it was kind of done to sort of, in a way, try and combat some of these inflated player salaries. I know a lot of people saw it as maybe a chance for lower tier players to kind of know what their valuation is when they get up to the big leagues, but also if you're someone you're a Device or a Simple and you're getting these huge contracts, it kind of shows you that maybe you don't have to pay your top tier guys that kind of crazy money. But also the fact that it failed sort of defeats the purpose of everything they were doing with that. And the weirdest thing to me of all of this, you invested at least $1.8 million, probably going to wind up being a lot more, on an NA CSGO team. You did this in the middle of a pandemic. It's not like the pandemic surprised them. The pandemic had already happened, and then someone at C9 was like, you know what we should do? We should think $2 million into a already languishing NA CSGO scene. We should just buy all these people. We should pay them a ton, and somehow hope we get our money back on NA like non-LAN circuit games. Like, I don't understand the entire process behind this decision at all.
I mean, when the formation started, you have to imagine they were still in the mindset of this pandemic is not going to be ongoing and that LANs will be back and a major will be happening.
That's fair. I guess when they did sign it, technically the Rio major had not been wiped just yet. I think it was right before they decided to wipe the Rio major and push it to the next year.
I mean, I still have great respect for it. We'll end it here shortly because the overall question to you guys, do you think that nearly $2 million was wasted? You know, is there some other things that you guys took from this? I'm really, it sucks. All around it sucks, but I'm so glad they swung for the moon because you see what they're going for. And if it did work out, if it did pan out, if this was the Cloud9 Colossus turned around North American CSGO and eventually did win a major, we obviously would be talking a lot differently now, but clearly that's not what happened. So we'll see when Cloud9 does reapproach CSGO. Well, you know, you add that LCS fine from over a year ago, which was in the range of $300,000 to $600,000. You add this of 1.8 at least. Cloud9's got money bags, but a lot of those money bags have been drained as of late. So we will see where the future of Cloud9 CSGO is. We'll see where the future of NA CSGO is. And do you guys think the money was wasted? We'll catch you guys back in the next one. Until then, you take care of yourselves.
And then
do you have something else?
Yeah. And in Jake's defense, in Iowa, there aren't fences. So in Iowa, you swing for the moon and you reach for the fences because the fences are so out of sight. They're just corn.
Thank you for that. We'll catch you guys back here next. I'm just going to go cry.